Hi, this is a how-to guide on how to use the Ledgers and Accounting module in Dashlabs. Today, I will teach you how to create a cashbook ledger. We will do this by setting up a bank account ledger. This is how we're going to set up a cashbook ledger. We will take 6 steps. The first step is create a ledger named BPI bank account to simulate creating a bank account ledger. Second, we'll create a credit transaction for starting balance to simulate an initial balance for that ledger. Third, we will create a debit transaction for cash expenses. This is to simulate a money out for cash expenses. Fourth, we will use the cashier terminal to create a payment to the BPI bank account ledger. This is to simulate a patient paying online transfer directly to the BPI bank account. Fifth, we'll download a store ledgers document called statement of account so that we're able to see the transactions of the ledgers. Then six, we will create a group for similar ledgers to have a consolidated and unified reporting for similar ledgers. The first step that we will do is create a ledger named BPI bank account. In your homepage, go to stores, go to store ledgers, click create, and type the name of the ledger. Choose the cashbook type. Cashbook ledgers are best used for money in. So create. And from here, you have a ledger called BPI bank account, and you could proceed to creating debit and credit transactions. We're done with the first step. The second step is to create a credit transaction called starting balance. This is to simulate the initial balance of the ledger. In the selected ledger, just click create, choose the credit type transaction. Type transactions are best for money in, sales, payments, and others. Choose the amount and the description. We recommend for the description use things like the reference ID of the transaction, the purpose of the transaction, and other important notes that you may input and include here. Initial balance. From here, you can also upload proof of transactions and other files for supporting document. To save, just click create. And now you have an initial balance for BPI bank account. In this case, the 790,000 that we've typed in for the credit transaction. We are done with the second step. The next step would be creating a debit transaction for cash expenses. This is to simulate a withdrawal for petty cash for the month of June. Again, in the selected ledger, just click create, choose debit. The debit type transactions are best for money out or money still not in your accounts. Things like expenses, your receivable from HMO, or your receivable from corporate clients. In this case, we can put 80,000 as a petty cash withdrawal for the month of June. You could also input the reference ID of the transaction and, of course, to attach the proof of transaction. Simply click create to save. And as you can see, from 790, we now have 710 since we've deducted 80K as a withdrawal from our debit transaction right there. We are now done with the third step. We have created a credit transaction and we've also created a debit transaction, simulating the starting balance and simulating a cash expense. The fourth step is using the cashier terminal to create a payment to the BPI account ledger. This is to simulate a patient paying via online transfer. So in here, I'll just go to cashier, transact a patient, and in the payment page, I'll just click other. Select the store ledger or created ledger would be here, add, and check out. Note that you could also include proof of transactions and attach it as images from here, such as this one. The cashier can also take a picture if they have a webcam. Just click add and check out. So if I go to store ledgers, go to BPI bank account, as you can see, we have a payment for store order, the ID, the file, and as well as the exact store order. For patient Miguel, got consultation, and for the payment of 700 to the BPI bank account. And now, instead of 710, it shows 710 and 700 pesos. We are done with the fourth step. Using cashier terminal to create a payment to the BPI bank account ledger. This is to simulate the patient paying via online transfer directly to our BPI account. The fifth thing that I'm going to be showing you is how to download the store ledgers document called statement of account. So in the store ledger, in the selected store ledger, simply click download, filter the data, select internal SOA, and generate. The documents that you see here is fully customizable by you too, but these are just our standards. So this is an example of the statement of account. You have the total ledger balance for the date generated and the transactions. We have the initial balance, the petty cash withdrawal, and of course, the direct online transfer the patient to the BPI bank account. So that is how you download a statement of account or any other store ledger documents from the store ledger feature. We're now done with the fifth step. The last step is to create a group for similar ledgers. This is so we have a consolidated reporting. Go to store ledger groups, and in here, you can create a store ledger group. In this case, we will create bank account Philippines. And you just select the store ledgers you want included in this group. So let's say I want BDO, Union Bank, and of course, the BPI bank account that we've created. I'll simply click create. And from here, I have a group ledgers, group store ledgers group that show me the consolidated report between the selected ledgers I have, the BPI ledger, the Union Bank ledger, and the BDO ledger. That is how you create a store ledger group. From here, you could also download the same reports that you would have normally for a single store ledger. So right here, you have the same structure and format, but this time the BDO showing up, petty cash withdrawal from there too, as well as for Union Bank and for BPI. So that is how you use or group store ledgers so that you have a consolidated report. That ends our setup guide. So thank you. If you have any questions, please contact your account manager.